YouTube falsely, maliciously, knowingly misusing reporting tools.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new Slum Mule video. I can pretty much guarantee you that if you are watching this video, you've seen previous Pirate Software coverage this year across YouTube. Videos covering Pirate Software, especially over the past couple of months, have gone dramatically viral. Up until recently, although I'd been slowly following the situation and drama revolving around Pirate Software and the Stop Killing Games movement, I hadn't fully invested myself into it and really had no plans on making any content around Pirate Software until I saw a recent video on Pirate Software that really caught my attention. This video on Pirate Software made by a person called Card Posting called Long History of Abusing Report Button. People that don't know, this is a huge interest of mine when content creators misuse the copyright tools and try and silence other content creators that might be critiquing them or parodying them. Especially when it comes to someone like Pirate Software, who over the past several months, stuff like this has come out about him, that he's DMCA'd certain people and taken down certain people's videos. So this video was a must watch and I really wanted to cover it on this channel.
So, I've been planning to make this video for about a week now. Ever since I got wind of the fact Hall tried to take down another video I did called You Should Hate Pirate Software. And ever since he did successfully get a YouTube short of mine parodying him with the game Postal 2 taken down, I would argue falsely, with a report filed for targeted harassment.
I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway because I do think it's relevant here. When a content creator does this, it's probably one of the lowest of the low things that they can possibly do, misusing YouTube features. And I also really do think when somebody misuses these features and does it to silence people, it really paints that person's character and what they are like as a person.
I was going to make a video showing off how he coordinates his most loyal fans through platforms like Discord to mass flag any videos he doesn't like. How he almost certainly seems to obsessively name search himself based off of how he must have found my small YouTube page in the first place.
That's something I find incredibly interesting about Card Posting's video here, him saying that yeah, Pirate Software coordinates people in his Discord servers to go and report people's content and kind of pushes them towards that, because it's incredibly hard to prove that a content creator is misusing these features, because unless you have something direct from them, it's really hard to pin this all on them. I think the most recent example of this was when Logan Paul was taking down some content that was talking about a certain situation with him and CopyZilla, and it was very hard to pinpoint if it was him doing it, if it was a company that he had hired to do it, or if it was just somebody else pretending to be Logan, or just anybody else taking down the videos. It's incredibly hard to actually decipher if it's the person that you think it is, or it's someone completely different.
And I was going to show off the report I got emailed from YouTube confirming they would not be letting that short of mine stay up. Then I put a post out on my YouTube community tab asking if anyone else had any similar experiences with Hall, and if they did, would they mind emailing me their stories, evidence, etc. Maybe so I could platform those stories. And I actually ended up getting a lot, many of which all fit the same basic pattern. Close to a dozen people ended up emailing me in a few days to say, here's a video I made, here's a link to where it used to be on YouTube, here's a screenshot of the takedown notice I got, and I did my best to confirm all this was legit and it all checked out as far as I could tell.
This was the post he put out. A few things. I woke up this morning to find out Pirate Software was successful in striking my Postal 2 short of him for supposedly target harassment. I'm currently appealing that with the YouTube Jannies. If you want and you can, I would recommend I'll cover my videos about Pirate Software and any others of mine you'd like. And ideally, you would also set the thumbnails in the comment section in case there's any pertinent stories in there being added by people who also have had run-ins with Pirate Software. Kiwi Farmsoids potentially have a positive role to play here. Also, if you have any stories of your own about Pirate Software trying to silence, censor, or bully you too that you'd be willing to share, please get in touch with me at cardpostingcomments@gmail.com. If we don't hear anything from Pyro within the next 1 or 2 weeks or so about either how he misuses YouTube's copyright and abuse reporting system against me specifically, or lots of people apparently more broadly, then I'll move in enacting the next stage of the plan. Now, I do believe it's incredibly important to talk about issues like this, content creators falsely using YouTube's tools to silence people, to take down their videos falsely that are critiquing them or talking negatively about them. I think it's incredibly important to talk about these issues, and I know lots of YouTubers and content creators are usually scared and more wary of talking about things like this out of fear of it happening to them, but I do think it's a very important thing to discuss, and I think it's also an incredibly interesting topic, especially when it is somebody like Pirate Software who is shrouded in drama and controversy at the moment and is literally sinking in it.
A lot of people even sent me Google Drive links and such showing me the videos they made months and months ago, and none of them seem like serious harassment or copyright infringement to me. But that's what they're all getting struck for. If they used clips of Hall at all, even like 20 seconds out of a live stream of his, they got copyright struck. If they made fun of Hall at all, they got taken down for harassment. And typically, these YouTube channels would be ones that had made like a couple videos before and would often have maybe a few hundred subscribers.
That would be because if you target a bigger content creator, that is just going to create more drama and pushback against you. If you target smaller content creators, even somebody of my channel size who really necessarily isn't that big or won't get that much attention, it's easier to silence them and take them down without creating a big stink. If you take someone down with 10,000, 15,000 and above subscribers, you are going to cause a big situation for yourself and lots of negative attention, which of course Pirate Software at the moment probably doesn't want for himself.
Often even less. People showed me screenshots of their YouTube studio panel and would explain, hey, I never made a video before, but I did one on Pirate Software and it got a few thousand views and the next day it was gone. Or, hey, I have 8 subscribers and did a YouTube poop edit of the Roach Out World of Warcraft thing and got insta-nuked off the platform for it. That sort of thing. So I figured the people who contacted me directly wouldn't be the only people this has happened to, surely. So I went digging, and I found a lot more people online basically reporting that this had happened to them too. That they'd covered Jason 4 Hall or Pirate Software in some negative capacity, and shortly thereafter been hit with a takedown notice. There's a really huge amount of those stories out there, actually.
If it is genuinely the case that this is Pirate Software targeting these content creators by either sending people over or doing these reports himself, or whatever the circumstances may be surrounding that, if that is the case here, I don't know why you do it to such a large quantity of people. I don't think you should be doing it to anybody, quite frankly, let me make that clear, but if you do it to a large quantity of people, that's just lots more negative backlash and attention that you are going to get. Because even if you do it to, 8 subscriber shitters, and you do that a lot, that's going to be a lot of attention because those stories do build up.
Now, I haven't been able to vet all of them yet myself, as you might expect. But, based on what I've seen myself at this point, I will say I think they are, by and large, all perfectly believable, frankly. Now, the main reason I'm making this video right now is because I've already mentioned that I'd be doing something about Hall since he tried to strike me. Well, I wanted to keep my word on that, and I didn't want people to be kept waiting in the dark forever. You'll notice that I haven't included footage of the man himself in this video. That's primarily because I suspect if I had any at all, he'd be getting his drones to swarm that report button already. Which sort of illustrates a key problem here. How do you critique someone with thousands of times a larger audience than you on a platform where they weaponize that audience?
I mean, this is not only an issue with a content creator like Pirate Software, this is an issue with lots of other bigger content creators who may or may not misuse YouTube's tools, and other content creators on different platforms that do the exact same thing.
Well, that got me thinking. And now I'm going to be working on a new side project for a bit. I'm going to compile as much info as I can on Pirate Software doing false claims to people, verify it all to the best of my abilities, and then put it all on one big website, which I'll make.
I'm genuinely excited to see this website come together and see how many people have come out of the woodworks to say that, look, my video covering Pirate Software has been taken down. It has been reported for this, this, and that, and I'll be genuinely interested to see this website constructed, and that will 100% be something that I will be going over on this channel. Keep it in mind this video doesn't get taken down itself, if that's something that could possibly happen. And I do think it's incredibly important that people with any type of platform do talk about issues like this, content creators misusing these tools constantly, because it's something that happens a lot more than you would probably think. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm well aware this isn't the main controversy surrounding Pirate Software. It isn't even one of the, second biggest things surrounding Pirate Software, but this is something that just genuinely interested me and I wanted to talk about on my platform. So thank you for watching today's video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below about Pirate Software, about this, about any of the situations he's involved in. Feel free to do that. I'm also down there. I'd really appreciate if you left a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. But I've been your host Samuel, and I'll catch you in the next YouTube video. Goodbye.